Hello and welcome to Mass Communication chapter number 13. This is Senior Secondary 335 and today we are doing a very interesting chapter, Television in India. Remember, it's a small chapter. Very quickly we can summarize. Most of the ideas are something that you're aware of, some key things that you might have to remember. For example, this is the keyword. John Baird is regarded as the father of television. Remember? So just remember Baird and you'll remember John Baird as the father of television. And these are some of the in-text questions that we need to understand. We need to quickly go through it. For example, the first ever television service was in 1936, right, before the World War II, by BBC. What is BBC? Very popular across the world, a bit of controversy right now in India, but it is the Britain's British Broadcasting Corporation. So BBC is what we are saying the first right television broadcaster. That it did come out. Of course, US was not far behind, and USA started its color transmission in another 15, 20 years later by CBS. So after BBC, it is CBS, right? And basically, what is CBS? Columbia Broadcasting Service. So some easy understanding of quick question and answers. So, for example, which of the following is a later invention? So cinema came before BBC and before TV. Remember that. Radio, print, of course, we know. So television is a later invention. The first country to start television service, well, it was, BBC from UK. And which event that led to the invention or the popularity of television? As I said, it is right before the Second World War, which started in 1938, if you remember. So this is essentially what we did with regards to television. Television started in India in 1959. Almost, we had television, but officially as a under AIR, All India Radio. So TV started not as Doordarshan, but as an experimental thing under All India Radio in 1959. Oh, that's a long time, right? Today, you live in a world you can't think of a life without social media, without a mobile phone. Imagine what people did. In fact, I remember it is said that when India won the World Cup in 1983, Kapil Dev, right, much before MS Dhoni, a lot of people only heard it on radio. So there was no TV. But 1976 is when Doordarshan became an independent, separate department. So finally, India realized Doordarshan, Dur ki darshan karna, right? So that's how it is. And interestingly, just a trivia, in Sri Lanka, it is called Roop Vahini. So, these are small suggestions. So you understand television as an experimental part, and it was more to do with development. So it was mostly that, okay, so when SIT or satellite instructional television experiment was started, it is more for development. So there were series like Krishi Darshan, dramas, folk songs, dance, rural art. And imagine it was happening only twice a day. So morning and evening, it will be Krishi Darshan. People watch anything for that matter. And this was the state of education in India. Quickly running through some of the key interesting things. It was through a satellite, and the satellite is INSAT. So remember, these are keywords. INSAT 1A is the satellite where Doordarshan first provided national coverage. And this is a big news in India, right? So a lot of interesting things. The government had sanctions that only Doordarshan can be the TV provider in India. Prasar Bharati is the authority that was supposed to regulate it. And you will realize that at some point, the Supreme Court will get into it and they'll realize that no, you cannot have monopoly. You cannot have monopoly. And it started with the Gulf War. With CNN, this is the American broadcaster. CNN came through and said, now India started saying no. The Supreme Court ruling said that no monopoly of Doordarshan, any news channel, any private channel can come in India and they can start. Okay, so this is where cable news network started the satellite wars in India. So, it said that if your parents were supposed to be asked, your grandparents, they would say, we didn't have many choices. Today, you have so many choices. In fact, YouTube is far bigger than any TV that you know. But this chapter is on television, so you remember it. Now, the start of regional channels was actually the revolution in India. It started with some of the common ones. You can think of Star TV, the Hong Kong-based channel. That if I can pull it up for you, the Hong Kong-based channel was very popular, and we will see. This is where, so I'm just trying to So it is a Star TV, but then they had, Subhash Chandra Z TV. We had Aaj Tak. We had so many series like that came into being. NDTV and news channels came into being. Uh, Popularly, after the Supreme Court 1995 ruling said that any channel, any regional can also start. That was the start of some of the very, very popular regional channels. So if you are speaking Tamil or Malayalam or Kannada, you will realize that Sun TV is very popular from Tamil Nadu. So the Tamil channel, Asianet, one of the most popular Malayalam channel, Inadu TV. So these are very, very popular regional channels that we can think of. So before that, it was only Doordarshan, and that is how we have private channels like, now Z's and Nickeldom, so many of them, National Geography. There's actually in your practical, there's a question, different TV channels. So you can look at all of these. Now, what does TV do to impact our lives? Easy. It creates awareness about social issues. So many things. But negatively, it also makes us consumers. So you start looking at deodorant, you start looking at shoes, you start looking at some of the properties, whatever, and say, no, I want that. So that is television. Television increase celebrity culture. It makes us couch potato, which means we become obese, health issues, and it increases too many violent programs. I'm not talking CID and yeah, that's a very popular one though. But yes, it can create that kind of sense of people wanting to know more about murders and crime mysteries, or also about consumerism. So people are looking at buying things, and so these are some of the negative aspects of TV. Well, television is completely negative? No, of course not. It is an entertainer, it educates, it creates social awareness issues, it reaches to the parts of the country where usually, internet is not there. So it is a it's a medium, and medium can be good or bad. So all these in-text questions are around it. The last part of this is a technical part, right? Which says that what are some of the new kind of channels? For example, there are cars with antennas, which allows host of television channels. Well, these are what we call the satellite TVs or satellite mobile vans, primarily used for news broadcasts. A very interesting concept that started, and of course, this is very popular now, is IPTV, Internet Protocol Television. So now you can watch a television series, OTT platforms, over the internet. What essentially does is you can watch, you can record, you can, you don't 9 o'clock, you don't have to sit and watch. We had this time at Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, Ramayan would come in and everybody, whole India will stop, or Shaktiman will come in. Now it's no more like that, right? The world of Avengers have changed. You can watch on an OTT platform when you want, what you want, and at your convenience. You can even fast forward things like that. So from the satellite, it has gone to now IPTV. So this is what a pay channel is. You pay for a channel, you like certain channel. For example, I love sports, so I'll take up ESPN's, Hotstar, maybe somewhere Amazon Prime if it goes sports, or movies, but I will not take up news channels. So a pay channel is where you pay what you like and you get a plethora of channels like that. So the traditional method of TV was terrestrial broadcasting, right? It was through terrestrial broadcasting. Now it is over internet broadcasting. And your mobile television, mobile TV is the new television that is going across, right? Free to air channel can be anything. Aaj Tak is a free to air channel. What's the drawback? Consumerism of a drawback. Or TV is not real time. One very important 2 mark question that you get is it's delayed feedback. Remember again, number 3, delayed feedback is a drawback of television. So I see something, I cannot immediately give feedback. It's not Twitter, right? It's not immediately. So television has one major drawback. You can write it down. And what is a more interactive medium? New technologies are more interactive. This is all that we have on this channel. Television, as from the world of Doordarshan to IPTV. I hope you learn, enjoy, and score well in your examinations. Good luck and bye-bye.